Good evening, Phil here. You may know me as the Save State Gamer. You can see me on the screen right now. Welcome to the commentary for the Save State Gamer Show. You're watching episode 1 right now, Freddy Farkas, Frontier Pharmacist, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to have to say about it as far as this episode goes, because it's not really a very good episode. And I'm assuming you agree. The later ones certainly got much more positive feedback. Not that this one got negative feedback, which surprises me because it sure as hell deserves it. We can discuss right now, I guess, the opening sequence here, which deliberately uses all angry video game nerd footage actually from his introductions. I didn't just go through and pluck footage from the reviews. I figured Crisbo would be even lazier about his plagiarism and actually just steal the opening montage wholesale. And you can see it just passed at the bottom. You'll see YouTube's old timeline where you can advance forward and backward through the video, which shows his copying of the window is a little sloppy as well. As far as the choice of song goes, yeah, I guess I just kind of thought, as he just explained, as me just explained, it's the only MP3 that he has, which I thought was an interesting thing to do, was to give him a bad taste in music. And I think later episodes sort of work against that, because, to be honest, I think I do actually use some very good music throughout the Save State Gamer Show. I do have a little bit of soft spot for C'est La Vie, to be perfectly honest. But my forgive my speech impediment, it comes and goes. But my initial conception of the character was to give him a very poor taste in popular music. The sequence that you're watching right now is one of the only good things about this video, and that's relatively good, I guess. This is the most irate gamer-like that he actually is in this little montage here. And you'll notice, if you've watched the other videos, presumably you have, and you're watching this, that there's no background music. See, this is just him narrating and making awful jokes and comparisons. Later on, what I would do is use music to sort of, to sort of keep the rhythm up, to sort of keep people interested while they watch. And that was not intentional. The next video that I made just happened to be around Christmas, so I did the top 5 DSi games, and I used Jingle Bells in the background. And I just did it because it was a Christmas video, and that's appropriate for such a setting. But I realized that it really gives the reviews a much better rhythm, and so I maintain that. Every video afterwards uses background music from front to back. There are a few exceptions where it drops out, and we can address those as they come up, I guess. First appearance of the Wii Wheel. See, there's a few things actually in this video. I'm not very proud of how this turned out, but there are a few things in the video that actually became runners for me. I think they would have become runners whether or not I ever did this video. But one of them is using the Wii Wheel to control games that by no means could be controlled by the Wii Wheel. Cousin Joey, of course, comes back later on. C'est La Vie. So it sets some of the groundwork for the later ones. I'm pausing here because I want you to listen to the narration here is a lot different. The delivery is a lot different from what I would employ for Crisbo in the later videos. And you'll see quite a few things are different about the presentation, such as the fact that I'm much closer to the camera in this video, when I'm on screen, not now obviously, than I am in later videos. In later videos I moved back from the camera because it was more like the irate gamer to do that. To be up close to the camera is like any number of other really crappy amateur video game reviewers. So I guess this was at the first of many unfortunate websites on Crisbo's browser when he cuts to footage of that. But yeah, so later on I backed up from the camera to be a little more like the irate gamer in terms of presentation. As far as the narration goes, which is what I wanted to address earlier, the reason that it's a lot different is that, sorry, the volume got really loud. Here's the narration again. The reason that it's a lot different, it's a lot more lethargic and a lot less interested, or less enthusiastic, I should say, than later Save State Gamer videos, is because what you're watching here, this is footage actually of a different video. I chopped it up a little bit. I think I reorganized some of the footage, but not much. Basically, what I had done is I created a video, a comedy let's play of Freddy Farkas, Frontier Pharmacist. It was only one video long, and it was intentionally crappy. And to be perfectly honest, the inspiration for that, and I use that term very generously, I shouldn't drag his name into it, he's a far better entertainer than this quote-unquote tribute would lead you to believe, was Stan Birdman, who did an extremely funny let's play of one of the Mega Man games, and he only did I forget what game it was. He only did one video, but he made it look like it was let's play Mega Man Part 81, and he still hadn't beaten any of the Robot Masters. He was totally incompetent. It was really funny. He's since done other ones along those lines. I thought the Mega Man one was by far the best. But yeah, Stan Birdman is certainly worth checking out. And it led me months later. I had the audacity to do this, which really he didn't deserve. This is not really nearly as funny as I thought it was going to be. So I took it off my channel eventually, but then when I got the idea to create Irate Gamer parodies, I used this footage because it was pre-existing, and I thought a good thing to do would be to take that and riff on it in addition, bring up those little montages and things like that, the pointless introduction sequence, some of the bad acting, and again, I'm not going to say that I was successful as far as this video goes. In fact, I would explicitly say that I was not very successful. I don't think this is that good. Why I did the Irate Gamer parody at all, I have to give probably 100% credit to the Third Rate Gamer, because I discovered at some point this Cousin Joey thing coming up, and then I'll go back to my previous point. See, I kind of shot my load with Cousin Joey in the first video, and also the get the fuck off my property. So two of the really big Irate Gamer jokes I just kind of threw away on this crappy thing. I did revisit each of those jokes to some extent later on in a significantly different way, which I hope justified the fact that I reused them. But boy, they were used very poorly in this video. They definitely deserve better treatment than that. But discovering the Third Rate Gamer was enormously inspiring. I remember when I found him, it happened to be 11 o'clock at night or something, maybe later, and I was quite tired, and I watched one or two videos, and then I had to watch all of them back to back, and I stayed up much later than I should have. I was exhausted the next morning. But I left until I fell asleep. It was brilliant stuff. Third Rate Gamer is probably my personal favorite Irate Gamer parody. Although Irritated Gamer is also, he's also brilliant front to back, without any question. He's enormously talented. And another, he's an inspiration in that respect. But for some reason, Third Rate Gamer edges him out. I think his type of comedy sort of just connects with me a little, resonates with me a little bit more. And there's one actually right now called The Game Boob, who I would induct into that little hall of fame. He's definitely worth watching. But let's see. Before this introductory video is over, let me see if there's anything else that I really want to discuss. Oh, well, as you'll see, well, two things. The background here, it's a little barren. I was actually moving out of this apartment or very soon I was going to move out of this apartment when I shot this, and you'll see, I think you can actually see a box in the background that has yet to be filled. Oh, 7 being the perfect rating is another thing that carried over. But me moving out actually revisited that in the next video where it became a plot point. The name Crisbo Hers is actually the first of many, 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 there's me doing my Jimmy Stewart impression, first of many, many Tim and Eric references. And that's just because they always tend to choose these really bizarre names that don't exist in reality. And, if you said them out loud, they would, wow, I did closing credits in this too? God, this whole thing is just padded out. Yeah, I really apologize. This video is awful. But yeah, so yeah, that's the first of many Tim and Eric references. Obviously that one's pretty vague, but when I will be reviewing Fantastic Mr. Fox, a brand new release in cinemas that's released brand new this week in cinemas. God, I don't remember any of this at all. I didn't watch this before I commentated on it because I knew I'd have very little to say about specifics. So what I instead wanted to do was just speak a little more general about Save State Gamer and a few other things.